Miguel Melbourne, welcome, sir.
Mr. Irwin Clary,
I
always a
we're not
pleasure.
hearing Miguel. Yes, we're hearing him now. Yes, we're hearing you now.
Fantastic. Irwin, how you
Erwin,
doing?
how you doing? I am quite well. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Is it okay to get an autograph like right now?
Might be premature, Irwin. You'll probably be the only person on the planet that actually wants the autograph.
Oh no! But congratulations, man, and we're very grateful for the things that you continue to do. So keep on blazing the trail.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. And so, as we jump into this segment of Melbourne Motivation, I must say, a very good evening to you, Erwin, again, and a very good evening to our distinguished listeners wherever in the world you're tuning in from. We thank you. My name is Miguel Anthony Melbourne, and this week on Melbourne Motivation, I get to fulfill a promise to an avid listener who said, frankly, Miguel, there's a brilliant social entrepreneur and author who's doing amazing things. Please, I think you should feature her because she's amazing. Well, allow me to introduce her. Jamaican born Colleen Hall developed a Jamaican inspired emoji app called Jamoji. Colleen launched Jamoji, an emoji and lifestyle keyboard mobile application that includes Jamaican cultural expressions, phrases, food, and places. She's also the author of Jamoji, Essays of Life and Play in Jamaica, a story contextualized from the Jamoji keyboard to provide a fun and interactive social read in diversity and inclusion. Colleen's goal is for the young diaspora to learn about and to know home. That's in addition to being seen and understood by their peers. She notes the Jamoji brand's mission is to become an island staple in living, sharing, and learning for Jamaica, the diaspora, and beyond. Colleen also has her sights set on laying the foundation for sustainable fun and exercise by building children's playgrounds across the island. And so I would love to connect with Colleen. Colleen, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Fantastic. How are you doing this evening? Thank you so much for joining us on Melbourne Motivation and Irish Jam. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. And, Colleen, where I want to start is I love great ideas and everything I've read about what you've built and your future plans. It's in some way fueled by the love you have for your culture. And so that's where I want to start. Can you just take us into your world a little bit? Starting it, where in Jamaica are you from? Where did you grow up? And where do you reside now?
I grew up in Britain, Portmore. My family were from Manchester and St. Anne, and most of the times, when I'm back in Jamaica, I spend in the St. Anne region. But I now live in Boston, very different from Jamaica, but it's still a sense of home in a sense that I've made it my home. That I'm the youngest in my family, and so much Jamaica is very much a part of our everyday life. It's ingrained in you. It never leaves you. You never stop being Jamaican.
That's it. It's such an important question just for us as Jamaicans. One of the first things we want to know, where should come from, right? And so is it town, is it country? It sounds like a little bit of town, but would you say you're a country girl?
Well, I've become a country girl. I was very much a town girl. Like growing up, town girl all the day. But now, when you want to think of a little slower place, you want a little cooler island. I love the beach. So yeah, take me to the country any day.
There we go. Well, here's the thing too, right? Let me ask you this, because I happen to know that you've traveled to different parts of the world, right? In addition to migrating to the States, is there anywhere you've traveled that you did not expect to see your Jamaican culture represented, but there it was? And if so, where? And what was your takeaway from that experience?
Well, everywhere I've been to, Jamaica has been represented in some way, shape, or form. But it was my first trip outside of the U.S., and that was to France. I went to Paris for summer school. I want to say I was 16. Um, and we went up to the Eiffel Tower, and at the top of the tower, they had the different flags of the world. And how far the distance is. And there was a Jamaican flag, and I was never, never, never expecting to see that. Like, we're so far away from home, and then, yeah, it was there. And, you know, you feel this sense of pride and just in awe of just being in the presence. Like, Jamaica goes everywhere you go. But
Literally.
growing up, you think Jamaica is your whole world. You know, you come to the States, you think everyone who's black is Jamaican. You don't really, like, what else could you be if you're not Jamaican? Like, what is going on? And even just recently, my sister and her husband came to visit me in Boston. They met one of my friends here, and my brother-in-law goes to me, "What island is she from?" And I'm like, "Ohio." Like, not everyone is from an island, you know,
Right.
but
You know,
that's how we view things.
it's a very, very, very interesting perspective. I know a lot of folks, as you said, that is remembering, or when we go anywhere and we see flags, we're looking for the Jamaican flag. But it is very interesting, when you live in the whatever specific Caribbean country you're from, and when you travel the world, it really is two different perspective and a blessed perspective. And it's a part of why I'm so excited to talk about some of the things you're doing, right? Jump into Jamoji, your company, and my favorite new app. It's one of those ideas that somebody, I'm sure, right now listening is going to say, somebody think about the idea there, right? And what I want is for our listeners who may still not know what an emoji is, can you plainly explain what it is and also enlighten us as to what inspired you to create Jamoji and why users will fall in love with it?
Certainly. Well, now that we text more, we're texting more freely. Like, we don't have to pay that 50 cents to receive a text, an international text anymore. And so now when I speak to my relatives back home, we talk in dialect, or they type in dialect, and the conversation just didn't match what we had in the emoji keyboard. Like, we have our own fruits, we have our own expressions, that it just wasn't matching that yellow circle. So I wanted to create a concept of taking up space and being able to see ourselves in how we live our everyday lives. And for that to happen, someone has to take the step. I figured, because Jamaican culture is already popular, where everyone likes to sample and try it on, I wanted to this modern touch to our mobile daily lives to come from a native. And if I wasn't going to do it, some guy from California was going to do it. So I wanted to beat him to the punch.
Absolutely. I love it. Our culture it's intoxicating. As you mentioned, anywhere in the world we go, we see it. And when we talk about patois, it's something that if you understand it because you are familiar with someone that's Jamaican or you went to Jamaica, like, it's understood, but it's not often written. And so just the idea that now in our everyday conversation, we have an image, we have a symbol, we have something that can, fit the way we naturally speak. I think it's an absolutely brilliant and an amazing idea. And I'm happy you beat this guy out in California who wanted to take on your idea as well. And so you're also expanding your repertoire, right? And brand Jamoji by authoring the book Jamoji, Essays of Life and Play in Jamaica. And I can tell you there's zero chance I would see this book title and not purchase it, right? But why was this book important for you to write it? And what sort of insight are you hoping that readers gain from it?
Well, thank you. Well, the book is a narrative of the app, or the app narrates the book, because what I find was the app was being downloaded more for visitors to Jamaica, but they couldn't necessarily understand the different expressions. So I wanted to create an avenue of life in Jamaica, because while Jamaica get over 4 million visitors a year, they don't necessarily see what it's like in Jamaican households. And it's time for the culture to take the ride with the popularity of what Jamaica is. And I wanted Jamoji to serve as a host for Jamaican culture. Like, what is it like on a Saturday? We all know the Saturday routine: R&B music, cleaning, soup. Okay, you know how Sunday goes: breakfast and dinner cook at the same time, and you go to church. just the avenue of what life is like, and also for Jamaican diaspora growing up here in the U.S. and the U.K., just for them to feel what it's like to grow up in Jamaica and being understood by their peers, because I know everyone here knows a Jamaican or of the Jamaican. So I wanted to create a more standard approach, or more a repertoire of what life is like on the island. You know,
You know,
we're more than your beaches. Our beaches are beautiful, but you know, get to learn the people, because what I see a lot when I visit Jamaica, when I'm on the resort, I see they're questioning the staff a lot. Like, what is this? What is that? Well, this is
mm.
for you to go to find out what that is.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And, as you mentioned, we know so many people go to Jamaica, and of course they love all the amenities, but a lot of people, they do want to venture off the resort. And the reason they want to venture is because they do want to understand the people. They do want to understand the culture even more. And they do want to understand this lingo that seems so intoxicating and vibrant, right? And so never thought about it this way. But Jamoji is providing that insight. And that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. What I want to say
Thanks.
next, right, Colleen, is there's a common theme, right, that I've recognized among the brave young Caribbean entrepreneurs like yourself, and that is your passion for giving back to the youth. Now, there's Jamoji Play. What's the plan there? What's the progress so far? And how can the diaspora get involved?
Oh, thanks. So Jamoji Play is my initiative to invest back into Jamaica for what Jamaica's given to me. So the first step is a proceeds of the book goes to Bridgeport Primary School. That's the one school that me and my sisters all attended. And to give back directly, I wanted it to go to something that the kids could see, that they could know that it was made with them in mind, and that they're thought of. You know, beyond the books and what you're having for lunch. I wanted something to commit to childhood, commit to play, because it is my childhood that is written in these stories. So the first step is building playgrounds. So I'm having a fundraiser party on December 17th at Pegasus Hotel to really kick off fundraising to build this playground. And playgrounds aren't cheap. I thought they were, but they're not. you know, but it's something I'm committed to it, and we're gonna see it through. So it would take another year to 18 months to see it through, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna get there.
I absolutely love everything that you represent and what you're doing, Colleen. And there is always this big question, in our community that says, when our best and brightest, when we leave our country and we go somewhere else, what are we doing to give back to Jamaica? And you said something there. You have an aim to invest back into Jamaica. And it's a very powerful sentiment. It's a very powerful statement. And it just goes to show you're an example to say, everyone, the leadership we're looking for, the investment back into Jamaica that we're looking for, we don't have to wait for the institutions to do it. We don't have to wait for the governments to do it. We can do it ourselves. So please, Colleen, we support you. Continue to come back and update us on the progress. And we should and will be doing our best to support your movement. And so with that, listeners, I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed hearing this story, right? Another brave. I love to call these young entrepreneurs brave, right? Because we all have ideas, but that's what separates ideas from folks who can call themselves entrepreneurs, is that they take the risk, they take the step. And so with that, Colleen, of course, you are a change maker. Very proud to hear the things that you're doing. Thank you for sharing this meaningful conversation with us on Melbourne Motivation. Please tell our listening audience where they can learn more, how can they connect, and continue to follow the Jamoji movement.
Yeah, for party tickets, just go to Eventbrite, and it's just search bar Jamoji, Jamoji, or jamojiapp.com, or on social media, Colleen at Colleen 1212.
Fantastic.
Colleen Hall 1212. See, I'm not, the Instagram.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This, I'm sure, is just an introductory conversation. We will talk again. Thank you so much, Colleen. Erwin.
Indeed, I'm impressed, Miss
Thanks for
Hall.
having me.
Yes, we're impressed by your endeavors, Miss Hall, and just to let you know that as part of our commitment here, and it's because of the power of the man Miguel Melbourne here. Whatever we can do to ensure that the diaspora, who many of whom, as you know, that time of year goes home for Christmas and stuff like that, to make this one of their bucket list item. So whatever we can do on our platforms here and our sister station in Jamaica, let us work on that to ensure that you do get the necessary support because it is required to ensure its success. So congratulations on your endeavor.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, great. Miguel, Mr. Blazing Trailer, share to our listeners how they may maintain contact with you, sir, and to follow you.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, my personal and professional goals are to help the youth be best prepared for college, their career, and beyond so that we can have more Colleen Halls out there. Visit Pathway to Purpose, NYC.com. Use the code IRIE, IRIE for a discount when purchasing our college study flashcards. Follow Melbourne Motivation, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Until next time, please be safe and live with big energy. Erwin, next week.
All the best to you, my friend. That was Miguel Melbourne with his